All right. 45. In what manner then shall we pursue so important an object so as to entertain hopes of being able to acquire this talent of speaking in harmonious numbers? It is not a matter of so much difficulty as it is of necessity, for there is nothing so plain, nothing so flexible, nothing which will so easily follow whithersoever you incline to lead it as language, out of which verses are composed, out of which all the variety of poetical numbers, out of which also prose of various modulation and of many different kinds. For there is not one set of words for common discourse and another for oratorial debate, nor are they taken from one class for daily conversation and from another for the stage and for display. But when we have made our selection from those that lie before us, we form and fashion them at our pleasure like the softest wax, according therefore as we ourselves are grave or subtle or hold a middle course between both, so the form of our language follows the nature of our thoughts and is changed and varied to suit every method by which we delight the ear or move the passions of mankind. But as in most things, so in language, nature herself was wonderfully contrived that what carries in it the greatest utility should have at the same time either the most dignity or, as it often happens, the most beauty. We perceive the very system of the universe and of nature to be constituted with a view to the safety and preservation of the whole, so that the firmament should be round and the earth in the middle, and that it should be held in its place by its own nature and tendency, that the sun should go round, that it should approach to the winter sign and thence gradually ascend to the opposite region, that the moon, by her advance and retreat, should receive the light of the sun, and that the five planets should perform the same revolutions by different motions and courses. This order of things has such force that if there were the least alteration in it, they could not possibly subsist together, and such beauty that no fairer appearance of nature could even be imagined. Turn your thoughts now to the shape and figure of man, or even that of other animals. You will find no part of the body fashioned without some necessary use, and the whole frame perfected, as it were, by art, not by chance. 46. How is it with regard to trees, of which neither the trunk nor the boughs nor even the leaves are formed otherwise than to maintain and preserve their own nature, yet in which there is no part that is not beautiful? Or let us turn from natural objects and cast our eyes on those of art. What is so necessary in a ship as the sides, the hold, the prow, the stern, the yards, the sails, the masts, which yet have so much beauty in their appearance that they seem to have been invented not for safety only, but also for the delight afforded by the spectacle? Pillars support temples and porticos, and yet have not more of utility than of dignity. It was not regard to beauty, but necessity that contrived the cupola of the Capitol and other buildings, for which a plan was contemplated by which the water might run off from each side of the roof. The dignity of the cupola was added to the utility of the temple, but in such a manner that should the Capitol be built in heaven where no rain can fall, it would appear to have no dignity without the cupola. It happens likewise in all parts of language that a certain agreeableness and grace are attendant on utility, and I may say on necessity, for the stoppage of the breath and the confined play of the lungs introduce periods and the pointing of words. This invention gives such gratification that if unlimited powers of breath were granted to a person, yet we could not wish him to speak without stopping, for the invention of stops is pleasing to the ears of mankind and not only tolerable, but easy to the lungs.